Hi all, welcome back. I am Wietse. This is episode 4 of the Bachelor Project podcast. This is a podcast where I talk about the progress of my Bachelor project. It's been a while since I've uploaded a podcast, 3 weeks more than usual. This is because I've had an exam in programming with Python, which cost me a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We made it, we're back, and I'll get started on where I currently am in my research. So to give a short recap about what I'm doing, I am doing research on the exam of practicum data analyse. This is the statistics course in the second year of sociology. And what's all about this exam is that students could use AI to make the exam for the first time this year. And I am testing whether this is a valid way to see if students really know statistics or have the knowledge for that, or if they just could make the exam without any knowledge and pass the exam. I am doing this in a few different ways. I am making the exam with AI myself, and I'm doing this in 8 different ways. The two first ways of doing this is by putting literal exam questions into AI, and the second version is by using student prompts. These are from students I've interviewed or am going to interview. I've had 3 out of 5 students already, 1 to go on Thursday, and I'm still looking for 1 student to have an interview with. So that's quite going okay. And I'm performing these 2 versions with 4 different ways again, because in the exam there are images which you have to interpret and make questions about. And I am going to put the prompts with and without the images to see the difference between those. And with making the exam, you can point SAV files to make the questions with. So you have to run things in RStudio with the data. But these point SAV files are quite big to handle for AI, as they are big documents. But with one prompt, you can turn those point SAV files into point CSV files, and those files are way less big and probably easier for AI to work with. So I'm also testing the difference between those. So in total, I will have 8 different ways of making the exam, which of course the student prompts will also be 5 different ways again. So quite a lot. And each way I'm also going to test it with 4 different models. Those are the models you see below the table. In total, I will have to make 96 exams, so quite a lot. I'm currently at 16. But I have the results of the first 8 exams, and those are the ones with the green check in the boxes here. So we'll have a look at those results. And what you see here is the total final score on the exams. By just putting the literal exam questions into AI without copying the images into the AI, with the SAV models and the CSV models. And what you see, of course, is that by just literally prompting the question of the exam in AI, you get a 7.8 for 2 models already. Let that sink in. So without any knowledge for this course, you could pass with a 7.8. Okay, cool. And with the free model of Cloud, you pass the exam with a 5.6 with an SAV file. But if you turn those SAV files into a CSV file, you get 7.5 with the free version of Cloud, which also is quite high already. The notebooks score 3.4 for both ways, and this is because notebook cannot perform analysis in in itself. It gives you code to run those, but it will not give you the answer straight away. That's why they are quite low. And Notebook cannot upload .sav files itself. So yeah, there's not a big difference. But still a 3.4 without even loading the data set is still quite high. Yeah, let's have a look at the categories because I've categorized the exam into 3 different questions: reproduction questions, application questions, and insight questions. Yeah, and if we look again at the numbers, things you see on the first hand is that Cloud Opus scores 100% for the reproduction questions with the CSV files, which is, yeah, the max you can get, of course. And you see that the Cloud Sonnet model scores better for application and reproduction questions. And for the other 2 models, they're basically the same for both SAV models and CSV models. So one note here is that the questions the models got wrong are mostly the questions with images in it, which are also the insight questions mostly. So next podcast, I will give you an insight in the questions with pictures and see how high they scored then, because I think 1 in 4 questions is with an image. So we'll have a look at the answers and the results then. So that's for the first results, and I've got feedback out of my out of the Disk AI lab, because I am grading the exams with another AI tool, and I was asked, like, do you know if this works well? And I did not. So I have graded 4 results myself, of 4 exams myself, 1 per model, and then I let AI grade it, and I compared those 2, and they, yeah, were quite similar. So that is great, and I will keep using this AI model to grade my exams. And that is currently where I am. So thank you for listening again. I will see you in 2 weeks with more results. And, well, thank you. Bye.